Good morning, happy Sunday, and happy Easter to you. I am live here, and I'm on Tea and Techniques episode number 5, if you're keeping track this week. So I have a card, and then I have a bonus project. So I'm just going to talk for a couple minutes to make sure I can find myself in my feed and see if I get anybody live here. So here's the card I'm going to stamp. I think it was on Casing Tuesday this week that somebody featured the Wildly Happy stamp set, and I was like, hey, I have that stamp set on my shelf and it's retiring, so I want to give it some love this week before it retires. So if you have the annual catalog from 2020 to 2021, it is on page 98 at the bottom, and it's super cute for like baby cards. So I'm going to do a baby card, and then I'm going to show you a little Easter basket. So it's a $21 stamp set, and the technique I'm doing is Stella Watercoloring. But just before I start, I am showing the Peony Garden Designer Series paper this morning. So all the colors I'm actually using Petal Pink, Basic White, and Gray Granite. But there's also Basic Gray in this paper. So I'm going to do a girl baby card, but I'm also going to show you another project, and you could, there's Gray Granite and Basic Gray with this paper, so you could also do a baby boy, and it would be super cute with the grays in the paper. So the paper is retiring. I believe the paper is on sale, and as I go, I'll kind of talk about the products I'm using that are retiring, because there's a couple. So I am going to point my camera down at my station and find myself in my feed, and we'll go ahead and get started. Like I said, I'll show you the bonus project because they are super cute. So I just made little Easter baskets yesterday, and with the same paper and the same stamp set. So I'm going to do this project second. It's a crisscross basket. Like so I said, I did one in Petal Pink, and then I did one in the gray for my husband. So kind of like his and hers. Sorry, the glare. So I'll show you as I point my camera down. And we'll go ahead and start. I want to kind of keep this pretty quick since I know it's Easter and people probably have plans today. So hold on a minute while I move my camera. Okay, so I'm just going to try to find myself in my feed here, and I know it's Easter, so I'm not sure. Oh, happy Easter. Good morning, Janine. I wasn't sure if people were going to be on for Easter, but I know everybody's got different plans. We're still hunkering down here and doing all of our family things today by Zoom or FaceTime. So hopefully if you're gathering, you're just being safe about it. So again, here's the card. We're going to do Stella Watercoloring, and I'm using the Wildly Happy stamp set from the annual catalog. So let's just jump right in so I have time to do the card and the box. So I'm just going to start with, I have a piece of Basic White that's 3 by 3, and I'm going to do my stamping of my little bunny. And I'm going to stamp him in Gray Granite ink. So let me get the ink pad out here. I hope you're having a good week. It was an exciting week in the Stampin' Up world. We were able to pre-order. Actually, I'm going to keep this open for a minute. We were able to pre-order some new products from the new annual catalog that's coming. So I'm going to show you the Easter basket, and I'm going to show you, I made these yesterday, and I just did a simple Stella watercolor, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And then I made this one. The candy's falling out because I'm trying to hold it, and hopefully you can kind of see there's a little bit of glare this morning. Sorry about that. So, and then here's the card I did today, and the card has a little bit more shading on the mama rabbit. So I want to show you how to do both of those differently. So hopefully you can kind of sort of see, and I'll hold them up a little bit better as I stamp here. I have dove Easter eggs going everywhere. So I'm going to bring over my Wink of Stella my Wink of Stella glitter brush. So everybody should have one of these in their stamp arsenal. So it's $8. And the technique I'm going to show you, you can use with any of our ink pads. So if you have an ink pad and this tool, you can watercolor with it. Whereas like the blends are great for coloring, but you have to invest in a lot of different colors of blends. The watercolor pencils only come in certain shades. So with this technique, you can use this one simple $8 brush with any of our ink pads. Okay, so let me get my Petal Pink open here too. I have just a clear envelope. It's the clear medium envelopes. I use these for my cards when I'm gonna sell them. I put them in the plastic to protect them. So these are, you get 50 envelopes. They're card size, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 fit in these envelopes, and they are $6 for 50. So it's a great investment if you're selling cards or you have cards and you want to protect them. So I'm just going to take my Petal Pink and I'm just going to take the ink pad and I'm going to tap and make some ink on the envelope. And if you don't have these particular envelopes, you can use any clear envelope. I'm going to do a gray zone too. I have just a piece of white computer paper in here so you can kind of see what I'm doing against the color in the white. So now I want to add a little bit of pink to the noses and the ears of the bunnies. So I'm just picking up some pink and okay, I'm just going to add a little tiny bit to the nose. The baby, it's like I barely touched it. And then a little bit to the ears. So it's very therapeutic. Okay, then I'm gonna stop. So I like how that looks. I said stop, but then I'm gonna come up here and add a little more. And then since I did pink, I'm just gonna flip this over and scribble off my pink a little. I want this to be clear now. Okay, so now I have clear and I have glitter and I'm just gonna come over and I actually added like 3 layers probably here. I'm just coloring in. I'm gonna go kind of quick and go in circles and I'll bring it up a little closer to the camera so you can kind of see. But you know how rabbits are kind of fuzzy, so this kind of gives a glittery, kind of fuzzy little look to it, coloring it right over with the Wink of Stella, and then it'll be sparkly too. Okay, so that looks super pretty. But now maybe I want to add some shading on this side over here. So I'm going to come into my gray. And I'm just going to kind of blend out. And I'm just going to kind of add some gray. And then I'm going to kind of pull the color towards the middle. I probably went a little heavy-handed on this one. So hopefully you can kind of sort of see where I'm headed here. I'm trying to blend some of the color out. But bunnies aren't all perfect either, so... And I can kind of even go over again with a little bit more. So you get a kind of fun textural... And I'm going to come over with the card I made earlier. So hopefully you're getting some of the wink. It's hard to capture on photos, so I'll try to do a close-up of this when I add it to my blog at christinestamps.blogspot.com later. Okay, so this I'm going to punch out with my 2-inch circle punch. And this is retiring, so I'm featuring it. I'll probably feature it a little bit until it sells out. So it's an almost perfect fit for the 2-inch circle punch. And let's make the cards, because then I want to make the Easter basket really quick too. And I'm already pretty tight on time. So I am bringing over all my pieces. I have, for the card, I have a piece of gray granite that's 3 3/4 by 5. And then I have a piece of Petal Pink that's 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And the Petal Pink, I ran it through the Ornate Floral embossing folder. And I'm just going to add these layers up really quick. And I added a piece of Designer Series paper, but it's like the smallest piece, great for scraps. So the Designer Series paper is 1 by 3 3/4. And you can kind of get your placement. I'm just going to throw it on here and for the sake of time. And then I have a thick Whisper White card base. So 4 1/4 by 11, scored in half at 5 1/2. So hopefully I know somebody that's going to have a baby girl soon, because I'll be able to mail this card out to them. And then I'm just going to throw my bunny up. Oh, I didn't stamp my heart yet. Uh-oh. Okay, so I need room for my heart. So 2-inch circle punch, which is retiring. This little heart came from the Be Mine stitched dies that are also retiring. And there's a little stamp in the stamp set Wildly Happy that says little one. So while I had my ink pad earlier, I was going to stamp this. And this is going a little rogue for me. I like to stamp and then cut out or punch out second when it's a red rubber stamp, but not too bad. So these little dies are retiring, and they're amazing. The Be Mine stitch. So this is the tiniest little heart. So I'm just going to put that there, and this card is done. So I want to move over to the box. If you've never made one of the boxes before, it's a crisscross box, and I'm just going to dump, well, maybe I'll just keep some of the candy. Like I said, I did a his and hers, so I did one in pink and then one in gray to match with the same paper, Peony Garden. And we're just going to do a pink one to match the card. And I ran out of my favorite polka dot ribbon that's retiring. So I'm not even going to do the stamping. The stamping was exactly the same on the card. I'm just going to bring over my pieces and show you what I have going on here. So I have a 6 by 6 piece of Petal Pink cardstock. And I have scored it at 2 and 4. And then I rotated it and scored it at 2 and 4. So you kind of get almost like a tic-tac-toe board is what it reminds me of right now, which is kind of funny. And then what I did is I have 4 pieces of the Peony Garden Designer Series paper. And they're 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. So I adhered 3 down. So I'm just going to take some glue really quick and get my 4th one down. And then what I want to do is I want to cut on 2 sides, and I'm going to cut right up to the score line. Okay, so I'm going to cut on this side here and here, then I'm going to cut on this side here to here. So let me grab my paper snips. These go together super fast, so if you're watching today and you even want to make some because you have somebody coming to visit today, I whipped them up pretty quickly yesterday. So one side, and then I'm going to flip to the other side. I kind of want to make a mini version, so when I do that, I'll post back the measurements for you in the future. I think these would be super cute, not only even for Easter, but for other holidays, or if you have some people coming over for like a tea or something and you just want to have something sweet at their place settings. I'm just going to put pieces of tear and tape. I'll show you. Let me get the other one down. Let me show you. So right in the middle panels, there's going to be tear and tape, 2 pieces of tear and tape. And I'm hoping I'm going to be able to do this all on camera. I'll do the handle after. Okay. So I like to do this with cardstock, so it's a good sturdy box, and then accent with the designer series paper. So you might have to kind of sort of burnish this with your fingernail. So tear and tape it's still going to be in the new annual catalog, but they told us it's being reformulated, so I'm not really 100% sure what that means yet. So I am going to take my pieces and crisscross them up to the point. So let me show you. And then what I like to do is I like to kind of sort of take this inside here and add a little bit of liquid glue. It seems to be, there we go, to hold that piece there. So let me show you on this side. I'm going to remove my tear and tape. The other thing is, after you score, you want to take your bone folder and really make sure your score lines are burnished down really well. So remove your tear and tape, and then it's going to crisscross to the points up here at the top. And then what I like to do is add some extra adhesive behind this little panel here. So I'm just going to kind of sort of tuck in here. My green glue is, I think, getting pretty low. Here we go. Okay, so that makes the box. And then I'm going to do the handle really quick. So now it stands up on its own. For the handle, the piece is the Petal Pink piece is, I'll put the measurements below, but wow, what's this measurement? It's 3/4 of an inch by 6, and then the designer series paper is 1/2 by 6. And I'm just gonna add these together. Easier said than done with this glue today. It's not cooperating with me. It was really cold here last night too. It's supposed to warm up, yay, today. Be near 60. So that's a heat wave for us right now. So hopefully people will wait and do their Easter egg hunts till later in the day. It's looking pretty nice right now. Okay, let me grab my bone folder. So now that I have this on here together, I'm gonna just curl it with my bone folder. And I am gonna show you how it goes inside. Inside the box, kind of where the square was, I kind of just put it right to that little top of the square. So a little bit of liquid glue, my nemesis today. Wow. Okay, give me a second to kind of sort of get the glue out of here. Now I have glue on my fingers. I could use a little bit of tear and tape, I guess, too, just to get this done. Okay, I'm resorted to use tear and tape because my glue is not behaving. And I have sticky fingers. So if I was in a class right now and I did this, I would immediately be going to the sink to wash my hands. Okay, so got my tear and tape on there. And then I'm just gonna put this right into where the little top of the square is on both sides to make my little handle. And there's my box, and I can add in my Easter bunny, same thing that I did earlier. And if you want to add a bow, you can add a bow. I just made a bow with the polka dot tulle ribbon that's retiring. This was like the last of mine. I think it was about 12 inches. I just tied a bow and added a glue dot. And these 2 boxes hold about a half of a bag. These are the Dove eggs, but I also have jelly beans, so I'm gonna add jelly beans and dump out some of the eggs. So again, here is the little look at the kind of his and her little baskets and the card. Let me show you the one that was finished. So here's the finished card. I hope you give Stella Watercoloring a try. I'll put all the measurements below, and you can also find all the products I use below. I'll add those in shortly. And then if you want to see some close-up photos, you can check out my blog at christinestamps.blogspot.com. I will also post my April host code. I'm going to be releasing a stamp camp tomorrow featuring the well-suited masculine products from the mini catalog. So look for that if you're on my mailing list. And if you're not on my mailing list and would like to join, I'll put the link below of how you can jump on that. And again, I'm at Create with Christine if you're on Facebook or YouTube. So make sure to like my page to know when my events are. I go live every Sunday at 10 o'clock Eastern for about 30 minutes or so. And then my channel on YouTube, if you want to subscribe, is Create with Christine. So I'm going to bring my camera back up at my face. Have a happy Easter, everybody. And I should also mention I'm only doing 1 class this month, and that's because I have 2 events on Saturdays. Next Saturday, less than a week away, a week from yesterday, I'm doing a online stamping retreat. So that's going to tie up most of my weekend time next week. And then the Saturday after that, we actually have our local Boston area on tour for Stampin' Up's mini conference. We're doing a virtual on tour that day. So this month I decided to just cut back to 1 stamp camp. It's going to be 6 projects, 4 cards, and 2 boxes. And like I said, the details are going to go out tomorrow. So I will have the details posted tomorrow night sometime. So you can check back for that, and have a great week. Happy Easter, everybody.